Welcome to the Game Rage Music Show.
Yeah, buddy. That's the music. That's what you know. And you know, this is the Game Rage Music / Good Ass Music Show / All Gas No Trash podcast. This is episode number 20 fucking 2. Double deuces. As always, my name is Josh.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm here today with Adam.
Howdy, and welcome to the 22nd episode of the program.
Hot fucking damn.
Yeah, it feels, I mean...
Really, I think it is a little more than that. I think this is probably actually 24 because I didn't count the album reviews as numbered episodes, I don't think.
In numbers, yes, but I guess in...
Chronological order.
Yeah, I guess if we were counting strictly episodes where we weren't doing reviews or interviews, this is 22.
Yeah.
It's turning into fucking a Marvel... This is turning into a comic book situation where... Oh yeah, technically this is Spider-Man number 789, but
Yeah.
This is volume 4, issue 1
Whoops.
of Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man.
And then it's also got 3 different names too, so that probably doesn't help the canon chronology either. But anyways, so this is us recording the last episode of 2023 for the music podcast.
Yes.
And it's also going to be the first released episode in 2024.
Okay, is it? Oh yeah, technically it would be because
Because these are coming out next week.
right?
Because
So
we're ahead. Because we're fucking ahead.
technically,
Because
I guess technically we're behind since we're releasing this the week after. Fuck it. Why
no,
not?
we're ahead, right? We're not behind. What do you
We
mean?
would have had to release this episode this week.
Yeah,
record.
if we hadn't been done already, we would have to. It would be coming out today or tonight. I'd be
Yeah,
putting it
yeah.
out, but we're ahead, so we've already done an hour and a half for into next week, plus whatever the hell this is going to be.
Yeah.
And then Saturday we're going to finish next week. When usually we don't finish next week until that week, so
Yeah.
we are ahead technically. Anyways, so this will be the first music episode of 2024. So, with that being said, Adam thought. Well, we both thought it would be a great idea to do a 2023 kind of a year in review.
Yeah.
And this isn't like a year in review like we did on the BFN show where we were talking about the company itself. This is just going to be like a music and talk about the stuff that we talked about in 2023. Man, the cat did not like when they did that. Whew.
Yeah.
She got pissy. Hissed at him. Hey.
Settle down.
Get out of there. Anyways, now they're going to fight. So she'll whoop your ass, dog. Anyways, so yes. So Adam, why don't you go ahead and take it from here since you are the man of the hour.
I didn't really
now
know
it's power.
how to start this off, but
Oh, cool. Now I put you on the spot.
Yeah. You put me on the spot. Well, no, I
Hey,
mean,
man, pressure creates diamonds.
could have been a couple different ways that we turned this thing. One of which I was thinking about was kind of doing my top 10 songs of the
Yeah.
year, predictions that I made or bands that I
Yes.
talked about that these predictions that I made came true. And then even just talking about some of the music that we shared with one another
Oh, yeah.
and kind of refreshing our memories or just kind of talking about our past experiences on the. So I guess we could just start there. Just talk about kind of this whole journey so far. So we're 22 episodes in deep, and I mean, dude, I didn't know how this was gonna work out as far as the program. It's kind of, I'm kind of glad it didn't turn into just strictly current events and things like that. It just opened itself up to being a podcast that where we could do a live reaction to albums and then turning it into a review, talking about current events, making predictions. What else did we do?
We discussed hot gossip.
Hot gossip, right?
I guess you could say this has sort of turned into where
It's a buffet.
we've become essentially the Lana Mac of music podcasts.
The Jackie of all trades.
We're the Jackie of all trades.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that's pretty cool. I think we didn't intend for this to turn into that, really. We didn't really know what it was going to be, just like with any of the stuff that we fucking started doing.
It was just simply we had an interest. Well,
We had an idea
yeah, it was just
to talk about music, and that's pretty much, well, you really had the idea to talk about music.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of turned into this, like you said, a buffet of content.
Yeah, and I hope it's hard to say like where we'll be in 1 year or 2 or 3 years, but
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll turn into a time capsule of this time, just talking about the music that we were listening to. But I think one of the things I enjoyed talking about early on in the podcast was what was getting me excited in terms of music, and this kind of renews my I would say one of the highlights of 2023 is for probably the longest time I wasn't really interested in punk or post-punk music for all that much as an adult or at this point in my life. But talking about Melbourne or just Australia in general and some of the bands that I was talking about, whether that's Gut Health, Civic, GT, one of the bands that I predicted would end up on a program. I even specifically said what DJ would play them was Henry Rollins of Black Flag. I said this band called Split System would be, for whatever reason, I just fucking pulled that out of my ass and just said Split System seems like a band that would appear on Henry Rollins. And sure enough, a week after the fact that I said that, I think, well, I said it on Instagram, but you saw the proof,
Yes,
right?
yeah, I saw the proof.
Yeah. And it actually happened, and
To a T.
to a T. But yeah, talking about the subject of Melbourne and, well, just, I guess, Australia at large becoming a focal point for music, so much so that to me, I'm just kind of enamored, more so than what's happening in the US in terms of music. And yeah, again, it rejuvenated my interest in the punk, post-punk genres of music. And we've seen, I've been following up on some of the bands, Gut Health being probably the one I checked up on most frequently. And so coming out of the fact that only 1 year ago in 2022, did this band, get its first steps as a group out in my performances and then eventually having their first EP, Electric Party Chrome Girl. But one of the highlights, or rather two highlights, right?
What a great fucking name for the fucking Electric Party Chrome.
So since I started following, which was pretty much day one since they started releasing music, their first single, they have been featured at South by Southwest, the Australian version. I forgot where that was held, but they also toured with, I think, a band called the Black Lips, which are a pretty popular group, but they toured with, or not toured, but they played a few shows with Queens of the Stone Age. So those are, to me, are indicators of where this band's heading and where I thought they would be. I mean, maybe not necessarily the groups, but just the trajectory is just continuing to skyrocket. And as far as other predictions go, again, Split System is a new group that Henry Rollins played on his program. And then something I found out transitioning away from talking about Australia and their music scene.
Yeah.
I didn't make this prediction, but just kind of speaking to, I guess, maybe how I'm perceptive to this is gonna turn into a fucking like
Jerk off session.
yeah, to my own.
I mean, maybe if it does, then it does, I guess. You know.
Yeah. Okay. So check it out. So there's this group called Telehealth, right? And I don't know
Okay.
the exact date of when this thing was posted, but I assume it's within the last couple of months.
Yeah. Okay. Wait, telehealth.
Telehealth.
Okay.
So they're kind of okay. So 11 weeks ago. So that's what, roughly 3 months.
A little less, yeah, but roughly.
Roughly 3 months. And to me, these guys, I mean, they don't have a large following or anything, but rather they've been they had a live session with KEXP, which is a good sign that you're in the right hands in terms of music. So this was posted 3 months ago, right? Now you see that's roughly around September, correct? Like,
okay, yeah, I see.
just on the comments.
Yeah.
It's all right. So I initially started talking about this band. Let's see. Hopefully this tells me the specific date. All right, look how far I was ahead of KEXP. So I posted this thing. What does the date say there?
That would say, Jesus Christ, February. Wait, no, where's the date? Yeah, February 17th.
So prior to KEXP, which is roughly
September.
around September, I was 5 or 7 months.
7 months ahead. Jesus.
on this band called Telehealth.
Yeah.
Of course, I mean, shit. Jocotine is somebody that we've talked about consistently on this program.
Shit, man. At the beginning, that was all we talked about for the well, not all we talked
I'm
about.
kind of glad that ended up deteriorating,
shaking out the way it did.
yeah, dude, that was a real interesting situation. I mean,
It was,
because I don't know if for better or for worse that happened, but I guess ultimately it might be for the better because, I mean, we were dedicating a segment to her
every episode
we were calling Jocko Watch, and I don't know if that was growing stale on you guys, but it kind of made me glad we moved away from that. It's not salt or sour grapes or anything.
Yeah.
It's just I'm kind of glad that time is not allocated for one specific thing. We just kind of opened ourselves up to whatever we feel like talking about.
Right.
But yeah, Jocotine is an artist that we were keen to, another Australian artist, and I mean, shit, she's been at this point all over the fucking world. I'm still kind of flabbergasted that that's kind of happening because it feels like it's probably happening on her record label's dime because, I mean, shit, flights aren't cheap. So it's
Listen, man, it's 100% happening. I don't care how rich your parents are. They ain't fucking paying for you to gallivant all over the world. All right, that's the record label being, hey man, we need to get some exposure here.
Yeah,
buddies, let's do this.
So I think she ended up performing at some event that Willow Smith, who's, you know, a very popular artist, the daughter of Will Smith, ended up taking a photo with each other, which again, it just lends to the conspiracy theory. And I don't even know if it's a conspiracy theory because we basically confirmed that her ascendance is somewhat manufactured because we found out she was one of the groundbreaking stories that we
uncovered
made was that this exchange between her and Thames was believed to be, or rather it is an artificial exchange because to our knowledge, Thames is part of one of the record labels within the Sony Music Entertainment circuit,
right? Yeah,
as well as Jocotine herself, who was part of Epic. So to us, to me, it seemed disingenuous a bit that it so happened to be that Thames saw Jocotine's video and right. Come on tour, come on, guys.
Come on, guys. yeah. A little too coincidental. For my tastes.
But that ended up being the last straw for Jocotine as far as following me goes.
Yeah.
Which is fine because in reality, I don't think if I wanted to interview her or if we wanted to have her at a show, I firmly believe that we would have never had a chance because Sony Music Entertainment, or rather Epic, the record label,
they're going to protect her image.
Yes.
And
highly curated.
Yes. And we are not friendly to highly curated,
We're
and
honest.
image protected.
We're
things.
honest.
Yes,
We're
we're not. We're not considered we're not in the club when it comes to that, because again, we say what we think, and we don't fucking we don't pull any punches.
Yeah, and this isn't an indictment on Jocko
True,
Team's talent
correct.
or anything like that. We're just saying this is what happens. This is how you create a star, right?
Yeah, this is how it shakes out, and I
Yeah.
think it's interesting to me to see how the back behind the scenes shit and how they manufacture these things, and I think it's probably interesting to a lot of people, and I think a lot of people would find it very, I don't know if the word disturbing is the right answer, but at least they would find it interesting that, hey, this shit just doesn't happen organically. It's most of the things that happen that are presented to be organic are really not.
It's eliminating the chance element of like this artist getting to where they need to be. It's eliminating.
Yeah, it's calculate. It's calculated risk, because you're really eliminating as much risk as you can by plotting out exactly how this is going to go.
Yeah,
and these companies have been doing this shit for years, decades, so they know exactly what the fuck they're doing, and it's literally appears to be down to a science where you can sort of come up with this plan year by year and then slowly ascend someone into greatness.
Yeah, and to be more specific, it's even curating the people that are going to reshare her singles or whatever it might be. And in that case, it was Thames. It might be other artists that are, oh my God, this is an artist for a generation, which I firmly believe from the get-go. Like, I'm not bullshitting you. I literally started following Jocko Team from her first submission for Triple J Unearthed. I firmly believe she was a generational talent from the beginning. This was before any of the signing to Epic Records or Sony Music Entertainment. This is before anything. This is before even, fucking the A&R of Sony Music Entertainment. I mean, I was fucking I was 4 months in advance on, I imagine, roughly, getting the scoop on this artist.
Yeah.
And shit, I lost the point where we were going with this. Because we were talking about kind of like the machinations of making this artist.
Right, the calculations and how, well, you were just basically going into how you were ahead of all this stuff.
So it happened on this program. So it's just kind of nice, like, talking about this subject matter. And I hope like more of these things happen where we're talking about literally the cutting edge of music. Because like one of the cool stories that you ended up taking the initiative on, I'm not even really sure how it came up. Well, actually, I do roughly remember. Maybe you can patch it up better than I can. But you started talking about Live Nation.
Oh, yeah, man.
And talking about the $1,500 stipend that they were going to be giving out to artists, which we came to find out there were more specific terms than what was being led to believe on the articles written from different publications and stuff. And it turns out that it's a $1,500 stipend against what the artist would be, if they ended up making more, then that's what they would end up getting.
Yeah.
And I never actually got to find out what would happen with the Live Nation merch sales, as they were taking 15 to 20%. I can't remember specifically, but that was kind of a big thing that we talked about. But coincidentally, you started looking into what was it, Live Nation, and you found out that Mick Management was part of Live Nation. And this all kind of weirdly lined up when because we were talking about the fallout from the Marias eventually leaving Red Light Management for Mick Management, and we were speculating that that the Marias had left their position from Red Light Management because if Josh was in fact correct, which I do believe he is, if he had looked into the SEC documents,
the SEC filings from them talking about all their subsidiaries, and Mick Management is listed.
Yeah, so our speculation was that the Marias had gone with the bigger fish assuming that Live Nation owns a number of the venues in the US, but not just the US, in the entire world, that it would be in the best interest for the Marias to sign with Mick Management, and all but a 2-year period that they were with Red Light Management, and only shortly before they were part of Cosmica, as they were one of the larger artists of this boutique management group, whom we actually interviewed a member of the team from the record label of the record label side of Cosmica, Miss Lana Mack. And so we got into not only the manager of the Marias at the time, who was also part of Cosmica, eventually transitioning to Red Light Management, and eventually being left behind by the Marias to join Mick Management. It was a very interesting little saga that we covered, and it was all kind of coincidental, and
and then it turned out that it was all basically the Empire fucking orchestrating this from the beginning, it seemed like. And goddamn, it just that is a fucking rabbit hole that continues to present itself.
Right.
And I mean, shit, just going down to the stuff about, and now listen, I know that we've been accused, of being a gossip podcast.
Oh man, so that was a real highlight for me, was hearing that, talking about that specific subject, that we were considered a gossip podcast, which I really don't give a shit. It's simply the fact that we were talked about in a circle.
Yeah, right.
I'm like,
which is fucking great.
Yeah,
but to be called that, right? To be called a gossip podcast, that tells me that this is not a conspiracy theory. This is the Matrix pushing back against us. This is the machine pushing back against us, because you can't tell me that it's gossip that Mick Management is owned by Live Nation. It's a fucking government document filing that I got the receipts, motherfucker. So it's not gossip. It's fact. And we're just bringing it to light because, again, we don't pull any punches, and we just, we're honest. And I think it's fucking crazy how Mick Management still kind of presents themselves as an independent management of artists. Like, they're independent. They still kind of present themselves in that air.
Just as a management group and not tied to Live Nation.
Right.
Itself.
Just saying that they're claiming to be kind of independent, essentially, like without.
But they're not exactly small either.
True, but they're true. They're not small, but I guess we're not really talking about the size. We're talking about that they're not. They still kind of present themselves as not being affiliated with any.
Oh, right. Okay, so that's what you meant.
Anything. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's funny to see that go on when it's like, well, yeah, you're still presenting yourself as, oh, we're the small man's artists because we're not involved with anybody. Well, no, you are, motherfucker. You are involved with. You're not involved just not with anybody. You're involved with the biggest fools in the game that are trying to take the fucking whole world over in terms of music. So yeah, that is a fucking great. That was an excellent. And honestly, I don't know if anyone else ever fucking even knew that until we fucking found that out. Because who's going and looking at SEC filings for fucking Live Nation? Me, because I'm a fucking psychopath, and I fucking go down rabbit holes. And I was just curious because it all started from some stupid YouTube video that I watched, which I shouldn't say stupid because it was a dude who is an actual artist. I forget who he is, but I should go back and find out so I can credit him with this because he's the one that turned me onto the path, because he had made a comment talking about, I did it in the research we were talking about for the Live Nation thing with the artist kickback, the $1,500. He was I was watching a video and he was explaining it so I could get a grasp of it, a better understanding before we talked about it. And he made a comment about how, oh yeah, Live Nation is just going around buying up all the fucking venues anyways. And I said, what? No, there's no way. So that's when I was like, went down the rabbit hole, and that led me to look at, okay, what does Live Nation, the company, own as subsidiaries? And sure as shit, a ton of fucking subsidiaries, hundreds of subsidiary companies. And then I was just perusing through the list, and like I said, that's how I saw Mick Management was on there, and I said, oh wow, wait a minute. And I said, hey, I literally texted you, I said, hey, what was the name of that management company and the whole the Maria's thing? And you were like, oh yeah, Mick Management. I was like, wasn't it Mick something? And you were like, oh yeah, Mick Management. And I'm like, yeah man, guess who they're fucking owned by? Live Nation. And then boom, it all made sense that this is what happened. And honestly, I'd like to fucking talk to the guy who was their manager at Red Light to find out what his side of the story is. Because I'd be curious to know if they fucking just told him, like, hey, man, listen, we're getting this fucking Live Nation money, dude. Like,
Getting this Live Nation money.
you're fucked, man. We can't, we know you can't compete with it. Yeah. And it sucks for that dude. Like, he got beat by the Empire.
Yeah.
Now
And
he's going to be Saw Gerrera, and he's going to, you know.
And he left to become part of what would seemingly be the Empire as well with Red Light
Right.
Management. So it's like that shit kicked him in the ass.
Well,
He got his own. He got
Yeah.
a helping of his own, a serving of his own fucking. What's the word I'm looking for here?
yeah, he got a taste of his own medicine. There we go. Yeah, that's the word. Taste of his own medicine. And I would just be curious to know how it shook out, how it went down on the other side of it, because I'm sure he'd fucking love to talk about it, because they did kind of fuck him. So, and he got fucked by goddamn the Empire. And to keep the Star Wars references going, there is always a bigger fish.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So until Live Nation is the biggest fish, they're at the top of the food chain.
I think one of the biggest things I've learned is that loyalty is for shit at this point.
Yeah, it is.
When somebody can offer you, like, promises you the world and they can deliver on it, then all bets are off. You can't. You can almost expect neither a manager nor an artist to be committed to one another if there's something better.
Yeah.
If there's something better out there. Like, I don't think it's not even I'm trying to think if it's a professional friendship or professional relationship that you can't. It's hard to put it in words, but to say, like, for 8 to 10 years you were somebody's professional friend, I guess, or
and then
colleague,
to immediately
and then,
turn on them when more money is offered.
Yes. So prior to this fellow jumping over to Red Light Management, I think he had been the manager of the Marias for, I think, let's say 5 years.
Uh-huh.
I could be wrong. Let's just say several years to be rough.
Yeah.
So everything was going swimmingly until then. And then they switch over to Red Light Management. Another 2 years are added.
Yeah.
Things are going,
Still going
I imagine,
all right.
going pretty all right,
Yeah.
because they appeared on Jimmy Kimmel. So
Hey,
it's
man.
like at their first television appearance, right?
Yeah.
It's great.
You're doing something right.
And then something else comes along and swept off their feet. This guy's rug pulled.
Yeah.
So that means those several years prior to that moment were all for nothing.
Nothing. Yeah. For
So
nothing.
That's just like to me, that's just one of the biggest, like, spits in the face that
It is.
there's some dollar sign, there's some amount of money, or there's something else that can completely sway a person to just completely disregard a professional or even a personal friendship. And
Right. Yeah. And
that's
you know,
just
and
fucked, dude.
It is. It's super fucked. And that's, one of the things that I think is going to set us apart, that we're hopefully going to change, the game with us, signing our first artist in Millennial Frog. And, Millennial
Yeah.
Frog has told me and assured me that there is no amount of money that anyone could give him that he is committed to Game Rage Magazine. And, I've explained to him, hey, man, we're just as committed to you and giving you all the tools you need to be successful.
Right.
And, that's something that I think is a very rare trait on either side.
We gave him a platform to speak, to give his piece.
Yeah.
Not only to talk about his album, but the future of Millennial Frog. And, we're giving him a fair chance as much as any artist that we talk about.
Oh yeah,
here
and
to-
I think Millennial Frog, much like Jocko Teen, might be a generational talent,
Mhm.
and I really think that he's giving us a chance
Mhm.
to be in on the ground floor of his ascension to basically becoming a musical god.
So speaking of controversy,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
we did not shy away from talking about topics that were
Controversial. Yeah.
touchy, controversial, whatever you want to call it. I mean, probably one of our more radical episodes, which I hope we don't speak into existence, was talking about the future of digital streaming platforms
man.
and possibly the fragmentation of music and possibly record labels deciding to only host their
own
music
shit. Yeah,
on their own record label apps, which I think would be an absolute nightmare and is a very real reality.
Combined with your Oracle powers, we may have made this. We may have solidified that
is
as
like
the future.
Terminator 2 shit.
Yeah, we're probably going to be looked back on in 10 or 15 years, and people are going to say it was those fucking shitheads that put this out in the ether.
Yeah,
and this is how it started.
Yeah,
I mean, that'd be great for us, I guess, but not so much for music.
Yeah. And then of course we talked about and I'm honestly quite tired of this subject. I mean, I think we've kind of vocalized our stance on I'm just simply not down at this point for artists verbalizing their political or even social stances. Not that they aren't entitled to do so, but just understand that there are ramifications for everything that they say. And yes, we can read between the lines, and we are perceptive to when you are doing it for moral grand posturing.
Yeah.
Or
when you're genuinely trying to help a cause or whatever.
Yeah, so
we're not idiots.
I mean, one particular example is that we've talked about the Israel-Hamas conflict and some artists that have vocalized their opinions on social media. And I mean, I don't understand why you guys feel as though you need to jump in on every subject that is controversial as if to raise your stock value because you are morally virtuous, because you're not going to bet right on every single one.
That's true.
Yeah, so
you're eventually gonna fucking roll the snake eyes or whatever, and you're gonna be done.
And maybe this is a flawed perspective, but I would rather have 100% of the nation paying me 100%. If I could sell out a venue in fucking Kentucky and half the audience is conservative and half is liberal, that I would leave my personal political opinion out of it so I can fill a whole fucking arena.
You could fill so you could fill an arena in Texas and also Southern California.
But you've also said the counterpoint that you can earn maybe just as much money if you only stick to cities.
You stick to the one side.
Yeah, if you stick to the one side, the cities that are more in alignment with your own political views. But at this point, man, it's not even worth it to risk your own hide for this Israel Hamas thing, or even the presidential election that is to come. To draw it's unnecessarily drawing the line in the sand, I think, is just one of those topics that we have covered in one of our many episodes at this point. And I don't know, man, I've had a great time just kind of I'd like to believe that we gave a fair assessment on the both sides of the spectrum when we were going at it one subject or whatever. So I don't know if you can think of any other examples where we were talking about different subjects that besides like the Israel Hamas thing.
Well, I mean, we talked about how much we hate cashing in on nostalgia acts that don't really need to be fucking around. We talked about that. We also shit on Green Day a lot, so that was fun.
That was a great deal of fun.
I mean, I had a good time doing that.
Something that I think is still not something that's still fresh, and I think that will definitely carry on into 2024 is because this has to be, we have to be on a hot topic that nobody's really talking about, is here in Southern California, fucking San Manuel Tribe fucking getting their skin in the game for major acts. I'm not just talking about legacy acts, because that's what they were primarily doing for the longest time, is doing that type of shit. But
legacy acts and cover bands,
legacy acts and cover bands. But I mean, so in recent memory, one group that they've been advertising is the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I mean, these are guys that can sell out the SoFi Stadium,
Tier 1,
LA, the Staples Center. And now they're coming out to the Inland Empire, which is fucking great, because it means that again, we don't have to travel to Los Angeles to go see great bands.
Yeah.
But it just makes me wonder. I mean, there's multiple ways that this could play out, and we've talked about it in the past that either Yamava or San Manuel Tribe is throwing heaps of money, guaranteed money, to get people in the fucking door so that they can gamble at the casino in the time that they're waiting for the concert, because it'll recoup it just as quickly as they spent the money to
100%.
to pay these bands. But it's not just bands like Red Hot Chili Peppers. They have more contemporary artists like Ed Sheeran and Kali Uchis, who has released her third album. I think is Grammy nominated. But I mean, that's somebody I thought I'd never see on a fucking bill at a fucking casino. Like, it's just so random. But now it just seems like they're firmly putting their foot in the ground and competing with larger promotions like Live Nation or Golden Voice. And I gotta say, tip my hats off to these guys. I mean, these Native Americans, and I don't mean that in a condescending or negative connotation, but simply that it's extremely impressive that they have now thrusted themselves at the forefront of concert promotion. So, you got
and yeah, they're gonna give them a run for their fucking money too. If they so chose to get into the music business, if anyone's gonna compete with Live Nation, it's gonna be these casino type organizations. And I think that if these tribal casinos, or whatever you want to call them, these tribal groups, I think they should kind of start banding together with one another and saying, "Hey,
great, dude.
Let's put our shit together and let's start taking some from some of these assholes from fucking Live Nation."
You know what the real beauty of it is that this is not their main game to make money. Right?
Oh no, it's not.
They're just fucking around.
I mean, I'm sure it started with them just trying to get more people into the casino.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that any other place that hosts music is strictly that.
Yeah.
A music venue, right?
To make money. That's all they do.
That's literally all they do, and that's their ceiling.
Yeah.
This place is a fucking casino, and they have an unlimited potential to make money. So yes, you're getting people through the door.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's simply getting people through the door so that you can get them to play the slots, get them at the fucking poker tables or whatever, what have you. And yeah, I think they're probably going to make all their money back in the first night.
The first night, dude. They're going to, whatever arena they built will have been paid for in the first fucking night, because they're going to have to buy a lot more fucking slot machines. I'm telling you that right now, because there's probably will be lines. Because if you have, I mean, how big is that stadium?
I haven't looked into that. Into that. So
that'd be interesting to note as to how big these things are going to be built.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because shit, if you're going to build a 70,000 fucking person arena, and again, like we had talked about, additionally, now that you've got an arena, well, why don't you just fucking get a basketball team? Why don't you just start a fucking NBA team? Why don't you just start a fucking MLB team? Why don't you just start a fucking NFL team then? Why not? Why not? I can't wait until WrestleMania is at the San Manuel fucking arena.
Oh, man.
That would be amazing.
Dude, yeah, because then, I mean,
that's the only next logical steps.
I think, because then if the WWE or Total Knockout is willing to have a paid live event at fucking Saudi Arabia, then that means they're willing to take any amount of money, which means any Native American tribe with the right price could pay for a WrestleMania.
Oh yeah,
possibly in the future. Not to say that it actually happened, but potential's there, and they're not fucking around. So
they're not.
It's a topic I think we're going to continue to talk about in 2024 to see what bands are going to pass through San Manuel Tribe, but just the Inland Empire at large. I mean, the Toyota Center has hosted a number of great bands. Glenn Danzig played there with Twin Temple, but more locally around our parts. So there's this, I don't know if it's Polo Grounds, but there's the Silver Lake grounds or whatever the fuck.
over there in fucking
Norco.
Norco, yeah, that they built.
And so they've started hosting festivals there. So,
That's smart for that fucking.
but they have. I mean, Twin Temple is one of the bands that played there, and along with Danzig, I think.
yeah, I mean,
So they've had, really great music, and it's like, again, you don't have to go to Coachella, or you don't have to go to these other fucking areas
and spend a whole shit ton of money either.
Yeah.
You can just go locally and pay a little less.
right.
So any of these places that are looking for some radical fucking ideas, Game Rage Magazine consulting services are also available, because we got plenty of fucking harebrained ideas for how you guys can make a shit ton of fucking money.
Yeah.
And all it takes is a little bit of balls and a little bit of cash, and you can fucking make some shit happen.
Yeah, so I mean, shit, we have left no stone unturned into talking about literally any subject. We've reviewed albums. I mean, we talked about Genesis Owusu, the Struggler album, Munya's album, and of course Twin Temples. And if you had to give your own take, how would you rank those three albums for I mean, for the limited amount of music that we listened to,
right?
This
those were the three that we listened to.
I mean, we listened to other music,
but those were the full albums that we listened to.
Yeah, so how would you rank them?
I mean, Genesis Owusu is fucking number one.
Okay.
There's no fucking contest, and it's not an indictment against any of the other against the other two artists. It's just, Genesis Owusu is just a fucking breed of his own.
Yeah,
he's in his own fucking category.
Yeah,
and that's number one. Number two, probably Twin Temple. Number three, Munya.
Yeah, Twin Temple. I wish I could give it more points, but yeah, Genesis Owusu is definitely number one for me. And Twin Temple was a close second. Don't know how close, but close enough. I really loved this particular album because we are currently in the state of the United States where Christian agenda is being pushed. So it was a nice counterpoint to that in the form of music to have not only the title of the album itself called God is Dead, but to talk about all these blasphemous things on the album itself. I mean, it was just a real highlight of 2023 to my delight as somebody that is probably a self-proclaimed, well, I don't know if I'm an atheist, but I mean, I certainly don't believe in God.
A non-believer.
A non-believer.
A fucking heathen, if you will.
Yeah, and on the subject of Munya, I did have the good fortune of seeing her perform back in November, and groundbreaking news, something that we talked about.
Oh, yeah.
Was finding out that, so in addition to going to the show, we found out that this was the first show that Kaina Lou or Trent Prawl had performed with Munya, who was the person that produced the album that Munya put together. And this was the first series of shows that they performed live with Trent on bass and, of course, the backing band and Munya as the lead person. But in my conversation with Trent Prawl, I came to find out that there will be a future project between Munya and Trent Prawl, or Kaina Lou, as you may know him. Don't know when the exact date of that happening is, but if you've been listening, you will know that this is groundbreaking news that we've talked about. And
because we're narcissists a little bit, we're going to continue to talk about it because we were right. So
yeah. So, yeah, we're on the cutting edge of music, man.
We really are. We're on the razor's fucking edge.
I mean, whether we're getting the credit or not, I mean, people can look back and you'll see. I mean, shit, that's the beauty of this, is that
timestamp, date stamped.
When we're going 100 episodes in the future, and who the fuck knows where we'll be, but if we do have a larger audience, they have an entire catalog to see, holy fuck, these guys were right.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for that particular moment.
Yeah, me too. What would you, I guess, not to transition out of this, but I guess progress it further. What do you have? Do you have any plans, or what do you have expectations of for 2024?
Okay, so yeah, there were things that we learned in 2023. There was a band that we talked about called Venus Hides, which is one of the members. His name was Liano. he had played drums for Kuko, who's a very large artist. Though I don't think he's part of the band anymore. Played for Idris on drums, but this is his own project, and came to find him out in, I think, 2020. I heard about this group and got to see them perform live for the first time at a place called Scenario at the Regent Theater, specifically. Well, yeah, the Regent Theater. So I spoke to the band members, and one of the things that we could be expecting, or rather that we will be expecting, is Venus Hyde's second album. So another groundbreaking news drop is that Venus Hydes will be dropping their second album in 2024. Don't know how early, but just be on the lookout for that.
Oh, and we're definitely going to do probably a review episode as well.
And this is some real interesting shit. Like shit I don't even I can't say I fully understand, but nonetheless, 2024. I also purchased tickets for Sedona, who's somebody that we've talked about in the past. I don't know if in a positive light or a good light, but we've talked about
it.
Yeah, I think we've talked about her in a good light. I hope.
Yeah, I think so too.
But she's performing at this place called the Morocco Lounge, and I've already arranged to have her signature, and hopefully I could speak to her briefly because I really want to know how she ended up on television. Some of her songs have been placed on television, but yeah, so the question was,
what do you have planned for 2024? Or what do you have, and also your expectations?
Shit, man, I'm looking forward to doing more interviews and doing more album reviews. Hopefully, more interesting music coming on the way. More artists gambling on their fucking social media life or their social currency, gambling, doubling down. On the election. I can't wait to see.
Oh man, it's gonna be a shit fucking show. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully we can go to our first concert together. Hopefully something.
Oh
cool.
Yeah, man, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, just looking forward to more great music, talking about current events and all kinds of shit. And before. I mean, I think we'll try to shoot for an hour. So,
we can easily hit it because again, I got a couple songs that
all right
we can listen to.
So one of the things I wanted to do real quickly was talk about my personal top 10 songs of 2023. So let me just pull that up real quickly, and I got Bet You Do from Pixel Grip as number one. I know I didn't build up any hype for that, but
man, just shot your load right off the gate.
I probably should have started backwards.
Yeah, that probably would be better.
Do that.
But okay.
Yes. So too late for that.
Oh well.
So I'm gonna start backwards and say one of the great discoveries that I had for 2023 was finding out this group from Louisville, Kentucky named Deddy. I don't know if that's like specifically talking about zombies but it appears so because their cover art has a comic book zombie character. They have this song called Knock that I thought was one of the better tracks of 2023, followed by that number 9. The Old Man from Genesis Owusu was a great track because it's a very rebellious track against whatever the man is, whether that's money or whatever the fuck it is. And Spellbreaker, number 8 from Twin Temple, was one of my personal favorite tracks because of how melodic and mellifluous the track was. Enjoyable, again, with the satanic themes and blasphemous witchcraft. And number 7, Flower Tell from Dabda, a group from South Korea, picked up by KEXP, a song that we listened to on the program. Great track, math rock. 10, 9, 8, 7. Number 6, we have Un Don Toi from Munya from her second album called Garden. Don't know how to pronounce that in French. Number 6, Cold from Strong Boy. This is the side project of Alice Phoebe Lou. Probably the most notable part of the song is the bass line. Number 6, that's the number 6 song. Running Away from The Sacred Souls, a group that has become acclaimed at the international level. I thought this was a song that was necessary for The Sacred Souls, as I I think I kind of knew what to expect from their debut album, and this song was a pleasant surprise to transition away from their typical soul sound and more towards like this. I know this won't make sense to you, but Curtis Mayfield, I thought that's where they needed to go in terms of music, and they basically hit the home run on this track, which was just a single by itself.
Yeah.
Jocko Teen with You Already Know, which was their first official release. I have that at number 3. And number 2, I Hate Driving in the City. Comical song. Straight to the point.
Yeah.
Song that you were able to hear.
Yeah.
I just love how fun the track is, and it is of the punk vein. And I put that at number 2. And lastly, Pixel Grip, quantum leap in their music, the quality of the production itself, and this is probably Pixel Grip's best song, and why I titled it as number 1 of the 2023 songs. And that wraps up the 2023 top 10 songs for myself. And if you want to go ahead and share.
Well, I didn't make a top 10, but I will share what I enjoyed most out of really discovering music, because that's one of the things that prior to us doing this podcast, I wasn't out there fucking looking at shit. I wasn't being introduced to shit. So one of my favorite things that you fucking introduced me to was the fucking 1000 Gex or whatever. 100 Gex is 100. What the fuck are those guys called? Man, I can never get their name right.
Gex,
yeah. That shit is fucking wild.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's fucking great. It's nonsensical and it's awesome. And also finding out about Heilung, like that was another fucking highlight, because that shit was just so cool. It's just different.
Yeah.
And it's fucking cool. And it's obviously it's like Norse fucking Viking shit, which is right up my fucking alley.
Yeah. What was that group you showed us, which was the Mongolian throat music?
Fuck, I can't remember the name off the top of my head for some reason right now. I'm drawing a blank, but yeah, that was another one.
That was just like a genre that kind of took me by surprise, that I wasn't really. I mean, talk about things you didn't know you needed. Really cool group to be introduced to that band that is currently escaping us, which kind of sucks because.
I'll find it. It's in here somewhere, but. Wait, hold on. Let me go to this. No songs.
Well, anyways, we came to find out that that particular group had been featured on a Star Wars related.
Oh yeah, It was the Last Jedi, the game.
Last Jedi, the game.
Yeah, they did a bunch of shit for the soundtrack. Let me get my phone, because that's where it's gonna show up on. Hold on. Hold on a second. Hold down for a second. Let me find my phone.
All right, and there was
anything else that I introduced to you that...
Yeah, that weird electronic pop group.
Oh yeah.
I wish I could remember the name of that group. We have to look back at the fucking episode if we can't find. Fuck. Let's see. Maybe I can try giving it a call.
I probably might have left it in the car.
You think so?
Shit. Let's try it.
I'll give it a call, see what happens. Hopefully it pulls up on the. It's in between the couch or some shit. Oh shit. Yeah. Yeah. So this year, I mean, I got to be honest. I don't know if I found a ton of great stuff this year. I mean, amongst the, I'd say probably 1,500 to 2,000 songs that I heard in the year, and whatever amount of shit, that's not even the right phrasing. Amongst the 1,500 to 2,000 artists I think I listened to in the year, I'd say 10% of that I actually enjoyed, but I can't say amongst the groups that I heard that were in the top 10%, man, that it was quality shit. So I think what I'd like to do, since you're going to end up showing me a song, I do want to end the year with the band that I talked about at the beginning of the top 10 list, which was a band called Deddy. So whatever you're going to end up showing.
The Huh was the name of the Mongolian throat singing band.
Okay. And the electronic group you were talking.
Electric Callboy was the
Electric Callboy. Yeah, that was great.
That was great shit.
the dicey one, which was like the rap.
Fucking Little Darky. Yeah, man, that was another good one too.
I didn't know how to feel about that. That was kind of a mixed bag.
I don't know. I enjoyed it. And then there's another one that I don't even think I showed you, but it's it's this song. It's this trio of songs by this dude called Digbar Gay Raps. It's called Big Dick Randy. It's like this thing. It's fucking hilarious.
Oh, hey, did we? I think we actually did. I hope we did. We listened to Ram Ranch, right?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. Yeah, that was fucking funny.
That turned into
too.
like a whole rabbit hole of debauchery music.
Of like comedy debauchery music, like, but they're taking it seriously.
Yeah. Hopefully we could do more segments of that. Just weird, comedic music. So are you gonna end up?
Yeah. Okay. So there's two songs that I like, but we could probably just do the one. Well, let's do the first one, which is the one I like the best, and see how you like it. And then if you like it, we can listen to this one.
All right.
So this is a band. I don't know if you ever heard of them. It's called Seb Low, SEBLOWE, and the song
Sublow,
Seb SEB Seb
Low. Okay.
Seb Low, and the song my favorite, the song that I like the most from these fools is It's called Terms and Conditions.
Okay.
And so if you have your Apple Music or your iTunes or whatever the fuck you list, your Spotify, you can type in Seb Low, Terms and Conditions is the single, and we're gonna listen to it. So I'll go ahead and do like we always do, and we're gonna listen to it, and then we'll pause it, and then we'll come right back. So you can pause it and listen to it along with us. All right. So here we go. All right, so that was Terms and Conditions by Seb Low. And you said halfway through the song you had a funny description of music. Well, let me hear it.
Yeah. Okay. So you remember those commercials, those black and white drawings, and it was specifically for a lollipop, a flavor pop.
Oh, okay.
The fucking owl.
Yeah.
This guy's voice he has the diction.
A one,
a two,
a three.
Yeah.
3.
This music's it's pretty fun. I don't know why, but I imagine a fucking guy in a red coat, like he's from the UK, right?
Yeah, they're a UK deal, and I mean that's the song's about. It's social commentary on fucking
the Brexit,
the COVID guideline, the aristocracy. It's very much right up my alley with it's very rebellious fucking music. I guess
it has. So I don't know why it just makes me think of some guy literally in a red coat, like the stereotype of British person, like the 1770s or whatever. But I can imagine them with like a Tory wig or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And then he's doing this rapping, pontificating on top of a fucking wooden stump, and it's just kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's cool, and I not expect to find something like this. Is Seb Low, you said, right?
Seb Low, yeah, that was.
How did you end up coming across it?
Honestly, I was dicking around on Instagram. Gives me some gems are produced by dicking around on Instagram. So this just happened to be me dicking around and so instead of getting vertically challenged individuals eating food or fucking Instagram thoughts in between those fucking things, somehow this popped into my feed, and it was the background song for something, and I think it was from it was them doing like stealth promotion for it, and so I just looked it up. I was like, what is that song? That sounds cool. I like that kind of beat in the background, and I just kind of like the way this guy was fucking orating about basically fuck the government, and I said, you know what, I can get behind fuck the British government. That's cool. I can get behind this. So then I just said, let me look it up, and then I found out who it was, and then I went on the iTunes or whatever, and I just fucking started going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, so I do like the kind of spoken word / rap. It feels like Hobo Johnson.
Yes, yeah. Man, Hobo Johnson's so fucking good, man.
Yeah, it's just again, it's a real interesting song to wrap up the year as far as introduction of music to. When did this come out? Did this come out this year? Or?
Yeah, this came out in 2023. Well, no, this song technically came out in 2022, I think.
Okay, all right.
But either way, I mean, it's close enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. I just thought that was a good final 2023 end of the year.
So do you want to double down and see if you can get strike twice with the second song, or you want to leave it at this?
Oh man, that's a good one. I don't know. I don't think the second song's as good, so let's just leave it at this. Let's leave on a high note.
All right. That way you don't tarnish the image.
I don't want to tarnish
Lowe.
the image of Seb Lowe by potentially putting out the song that's not as good as what I think this one is. So
all right, I'll have to look at that on my own time. To further look into Seb Lowe. Did you end up looking at his social media to find out how well he's doing?
no, actually I haven't. You know what? Well, let's just look right now while we're here, because I mean, fuck, I could just look it up real quick. Let's see. Whoops. Let's make a new fucking Instagram post. Search for Seb Lowe music.
Let's
Let's see, 77,000 followers.
All right, so he's got a decent.
He's doing all right for himself.
he's doing all right.
And I think he's also ginger too, so that also fucking counts. He's like a
he gets
quasi
bonus
ginger,
point,
so he
yeah.
gets bonus points on that
Strawberry blonde
for being a fellow, having a fellow twinge of the ginge, if you will.
Yeah. Cool. So, yeah, that's the last artist that you'll be introducing for
2023,
and more to come in 2024.
That's right. So fucking stay tuned, because big things popping in 2024.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to it. I think that what we've done thus far.
Hey, what about me?
I'm not going to end it right now.
Oh shit! I'm like, you're.
I'm just getting it ready. I wasn't going to start it. I was just getting it ready so that way I could just hit it once we fucking go. God damn, Mr. Paranoid.
Yeah.
What about me? What about you, Adam?
Yeah, that's true.
So, anyways. Great. Now I fucking forgot. Where did I go with this? Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I think the things that we have done thus far in the short amount of time we've been doing this, well, overall, objectively, I mean, we haven't really been doing this that long, but I think we've done a lot. I think we've done a lot of groundbreaking things. I think we've done a lot of interesting things. I think we've talked about a lot of cool shit on this podcast, music related. And
with all the faults and
yeah, sure,
minor,
we're not perfect.
Yeah, we're not perfect. Yeah,
minor and major imperfections. You know, I'm willing to admit that. So we're only getting better, and we're only going to go up from here. So now, with that being said, Adam, what do you think? What are your thoughts now that so you don't get overlooked?
About what?
About the future. What I just said about my end up. What's your wrap up then? Because you were just complaining that you were
I wanted
what
to play
about
a song.
me? Oh, you wanted to play a song. Oh,
Yeah.
all right. What song you want to play?
I want to play.
Oh, yeah, that's right. What was it?
Fuck.
Daddy?
Yes.
How do you
Dead with a Y at the end.
That's Deady. You know what's funny is we had a friend named Eddie, and he was real deadpan and real fucking like
call him Daddy.
yeah, we called him Daddy. That's what we called him.
It's called Knock. I
Knock by
definitely think this
Daddy.
band is inspired by zombies.
Daddy. It looks pretty zombie-ish. This is it.
Go back.
No, this ain't
That
it.
wasn't it. That was the yellow one.
This one.
I wonder
Knock.
where I wonder where that panel's from. It feels like it's from Watchmen, but I have a feeling it's not it. But yeah, the song called Knock.
All right, so
Yeah, this is the
Daddy.
group this is my number 10 song of the year. This is a band from Louisville, Kentucky. 10. Fucking Ty Dillinger.
Ty Dillinger, perfect
The
fucking
perfect
10.
Yeah, this is a group that I found in 2023. Not really knowing what to expect. I just like that they used a comic panel for their art. And surely enough, I mean, fuck. This song was it's very wiry, it's high energy, and I think it'd be a great way to wrap up the year. And hopefully you get turned on to this band. I mean, not just you, but hopefully
Yeah.
other people get turned on to this group. So cue it up, get it ready. And let's get ready to listen to Knock from.
Yeah, Knock by Daddy. All right, so that was Knock by Daddy. Man, great fucking song. Again, another female lead vocalist, which I feel they're just superior.
Yeah, I mean,
And-
this isn't somebody that's of the vein of Jacqueline. That is, this is like a different slice of vocals.
Yeah.
Definitely fit for the punk genre. But yeah, just weird punk music about fucking being dead or maybe even being a zombie. But just to show you real quickly, so this is taken from a show called No Comply,
All right.
and it's at this place. It's at this place called the David Armstrong Extreme Skate Park or something. It's in Louisville, Kentucky, and this was part. I think from what I read, it was part of the Tony Hawk. It was some.
Oh, like that skate park, that giant skate landia thing that they made.
Yeah, it's like a 2,000 fucking square foot skate park.
Yeah.
And I'll just pause it, but you can see the bands. You could see Deddy performing at a bowl.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so like all these people are gathered and just hanging out at a fucking skate park, and they're skating inside the half pipe or bowl area,
Yeah.
and it just looks fucking badass. It kind of reminds me of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when Shredder comes out, and there's everybody on these fucking
Yeah, in the
scaffolders,
rafters,
yeah, the rafters,
scaffoldings,
yeah. And I'm like, man, I would if I ever had the chance to do anything, it'd be to do a show at this place because it's got graffiti, it looks badass, and it's super packed. And
Yeah, it's perfect.
but yeah, Deddy is one of those bands. I mean, I didn't expect to find music from Kentucky, but certainly a great band to discover in 2023. And maybe we'll share more of their music in the future. But we're giving them the spotlight now just to wrap up the year. And yeah, that more or less wraps up the episode wraps up 2023.
Yeah, it does.
For Game Rage Music.
Yep, Game Rage Music / Good Ass Music Show / All Gas No Trash podcast.
And to summarize the how I feel about what we've done, man, I think we've done a lot of great stuff. We made a lot of great discoveries, made some great predictions. I'm trying to think of other things we've talked about that we've predicted. If I don't, oh well. I mean, there's plenty of episodes you could check out to see the prophecies that we foretold. And
Indeed.
the forecast for 2024, we're going to do more damage.
Fuck yeah, we are. Fuck yeah. So, anyways, thank you guys for listening. And to end the year, as soft as this is gonna sound, we do appreciate you. We appreciate all you listeners. We love you guys.
Yeah.
So thank you. And if you think that that's soft, then just go give your balls a tug. Okay, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, and fuck the last shout out to the Belgiums of the year.
Oh fuck yeah, man. Belgium's #1.
Yeah.
Thank you to the Belgians who listen. You guys are
Class act.
class fucking acts. And when World War III breaks out, we're gonna make sure Belgium.
I might be wearing a fucking Belgium jersey over Mexico at this point for the World Cup.
Yeah, you know what? I think you might be right. I think you might be right. So we will support Belgium World Cup 2024. 2024, right? Wait, is it happening?
2026, I think.
2026 Belgium World Cup.
Let's go.
We should
We're bringing it home, lads. I know that's the fucking UK's thing or
But
England's thing, but
fuck 'em. We're taking it.
Yeah, we're bringing it home.
we
lads.
should make game. Oh, okay. We got to talk about this offline because this is a fucking great idea that I just had. All right. Anyways, stay tuned for the great idea that I just had. You will see it come to fruition. But
All right.
anyways,
Thanks for tuning in.
Yep. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you in
2020
2024.
2024.